Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today we bring you the story of a man who went from wrestling in small halls with barely 100 people watching to standing in front of tens of thousands of roaring fans, holding championship gold above his head. A man whose journey is built on passion, sacrifice, reinvention, and resilience. This is the story of Colby Daniel Lopez. The world knows him better as Seth Rollins. Stay with us until the very end, because this is more than a wrestling story. It is a story of chasing a dream that many said was impossible, and turning it into one of the greatest careers in WWE history. Colby Daniel Lopez was born on May 28, 1986, in Davenport, Iowa. Growing up in a working-class family, he didn't have the glitz and glamour you might expect from a future world champion. He grew up just like so many kids, with simple surroundings, but his imagination was bigger than the world around him. Wrestling captured his heart early on. Watching the larger-than-life heroes on television gave him something to dream about. He wanted to be one of them. Not just to perform, but to inspire, to connect, and to show the world that a kid from Iowa could become a global superstar. But dreaming is one thing, making it a reality is another. Wrestling is one of the toughest industries to break into, and for a young Colby, it wasn't about instant fame. It was about grinding, struggling, and giving everything he had to something with no guarantees. He began training, taking bumps, learning holds, and spending countless hours in small gyms just to learn the craft. Every bruise, every drop of sweat, every lonely night on the road, all of it was part of the sacrifice. He started his career under different names in small independent promotions. Many nights, the pay was barely enough for food and gas. The crowds were small, but Colby wrestled as if the world was watching. That's what set him apart. He didn't care if it was 20 people or 20,000, he gave everything, every single night. His breakout came in Ring of Honor, one of the most respected wrestling promotions outside of WWE. There, under the name Tyler Black, he became a force. His matches electrified fans, his intensity drew eyes, and his work ethic began to build him a reputation as someone destined for greatness. It was only a matter of time before WWE came calling. In 2010, Colby Lopez signed with WWE and took on the ring name Seth Rollins. For him, this was the chance of a lifetime, but also the beginning of a brand new struggle. WWE's developmental system at the time was no easy place. Rollins had to prove himself, all over again, surrounded by other hungry wrestlers, each one fighting for the same dream. But Seth stood out. His athleticism, his style, and his never-quit attitude made him rise above the rest. Soon, the world saw him on a bigger stage. Alongside Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins burst onto the scene in 2012 as part of The Shield. The trio stormed WWE like a wrecking ball, taking out established stars, and quickly became one of the most dominant factions in wrestling history. The Shield's arrival changed WWE forever, and Rollins was right in the middle of it, the architect, the man with a plan, the one who would eventually break the group apart in one of the most shocking moments in WWE history. When Rollins turned on his Shield brothers, it was the ultimate betrayal. Fans were stunned. But that betrayal launched Seth Rollins into the main event scene. Aligning himself with the Authority, he became the villain that fans loved to hate. He wasn't just talented in the ring, he became one of the best storytellers, mixing arrogance, cunning, and unmatched ability. His rise was fast, but it was earned. At WrestleMania 31, Seth Rollins created one of the most unforgettable moments in wrestling history. In the middle of the main event between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, turning the match into a triple threat, and shocked the world by winning the WWE Championship. That night, the world saw Seth Rollins not just as a rising star, but as the man who could carry the company. But the road wasn't always smooth. In 2015, Rollins suffered a devastating knee injury that threatened to end his career. For months, he was forced to sit on the sidelines, watching others take the spotlight. For a man as driven as Seth, it was torture. But true to his nature, he refused to let the injury define him. Through grueling rehabilitation, long days of pain and recovery, he fought his way back. And when he returned, the roar of the crowd said it all. Seth Rollins was back, and he was stronger than ever. Throughout his career, Seth has reinvented himself time and time again. From the Shield's architect to the Authority's chosen one, from the Kingslayer who defeated Triple H at WrestleMania to the Beastslayer who conquered Brock Lesnar, and later the Visionary and the Messiah, Rollins has shown that he can adapt, evolve, and thrive in any role. His outfits, his promos, his in-ring style, everything about him screams creativity and passion. And let's not forget his championships. Seth Rollins has won multiple world titles, tag team championships, and has headlined some of WWE's biggest events. He is the first man to hold the WWE Championship and the United States Championship at the same time. And today, as the World Heavyweight Champion, he has solidified his place as one of the greatest wrestlers of his generation. But beyond the gold and the glory, Seth Rollins' story is about belief. Belief in yourself when no one else does. Belief in your dreams when they seem impossible. Belief that through hard work, through sacrifice, through pain, you can rise to the top. His journey from small-town Iowa to the grandest stages in wrestling is proof that no dream is too far away if you're willing to fight for it. Seth Rollins isn't just a champion in the ring. He's a father, a husband, and someone who has remained grounded despite his fame. His marriage to fellow WWE superstar Becky Lynch, and their journey together as parents, has shown fans a more personal, human side of Rollins. The man behind the ring gear is someone who values family, who balances the chaos of wrestling with the love and peace of home. When we look at Seth Rollins, we see more than a wrestler. We see a visionary. A man who has taken risks, faced setbacks, but always risen higher. We see someone who continues to inspire fans around the world, not just because of his victories, but because of his resilience, his creativity, and his heart. This is the story of Seth Rollins. From Colby Lopez, the boy with a dream in Iowa, to Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion. From small crowds in independent halls to packed stadiums filled with chants of "Burn It Down." His journey reminds us all that greatness isn't given, it's earned, one sacrifice at a time. Thank you for staying with us until the very end of this story. If you enjoyed this journey through the life of Seth Rollins, don't forget to subscribe to Nation of Glory, hit the like button, and share this video with others who love stories of triumph, resilience, and glory. Until next time, thank you, and we'll see you soon.